MaximilianMus, the YouTuber I've made 2 videos on, and to be completely frank, I thought my last video would be my last video on him. However, with one of his close friends actually reaching out to me to do an interview, I felt the need to post this video to clear some misconceptions that were actually made in my past 2 videos. Make sure to stay towards the end because we cover more of the serious topics towards the end of the video, and honestly, a thing that I didn't even know was alleged, but it's pretty damn serious. It made me not want to even make this video, so please stay to the end to see that. Also, make sure to subscribe to the person I'm interviewing in this video, WAMO. His links are going to be in the description, and he actually made a video with his experiences with MaximillionMus, which you should watch after this video. With that being said, let's get straight into the interview. Is it WAMO or
WAMO? WAMO. I don't know, man. Just say how you like. I don't know how to say my own name, dude.
Yeah, and you made the video on MaximillionMus because you're a close friend to him, and it did very well. Oh, I'm sure MaximillionMus saw it himself. Did he talk to you about it?
Oh yeah. I asked him before I made it. I didn't necessarily ask him. I more told him. I was like, hey man, I'm making the video on you, and I'm pretty sure I still have the screenshots from when I was like, hey bro, like I'm making a video on this whole thing and my experiences with you, because like what's going on right now is crazy. Like what you're being allegedly like accused of is insane. And I told him that I had to make a video on him basically to clear my own name.
Yeah, because if you were associated with MaximillionMus, you were kind of going down with him with all these allegations.
Exactly, dude. I already had people like DMing me being like, oh, so like you're friends with someone like this, why didn't you say anything? Like, you know, what are you doing hanging out with people who are doing these things? And I was just like, I had no idea making a video. I gotta explain.
Yeah, on the topic of allegations, I know I told you earlier I was gonna ask this, but like, when it comes to Critical's allegations, what are your thoughts?
Alright, so a lot of them are like, alright, so this is basically the most simple way to explain it is he had some good arguments on Max, and he had some completely garbage, dog shit, rubbish arguments on Max as well. And he said some things that had plenty of evidence to back them up, and that were things that I personally know have happened, things that Max himself has said has happened, and they're not good things. They're pretty bad things that Max has done. But there's also things that Max has been accused of which are equally as horrible, which he hasn't done, and that there wasn't evidence to back up.
Yeah, those allegations were really serious. Like when it comes to the, CP, what are your thoughts on that? Was that totally false?
Well, yeah, I believe that they definitely made it sound like Max was endorsing it when he wasn't, and there's literally, as far as I know, no proof of that he was endorsing any of that stuff. And I was actually in a conversation with him maybe like a month ago. We were discussing Discord servers as a topic. He was telling me how he used to have a server and that it got banned from raiding. And he said that every time he makes a server, it gets banned from raiding, specifically raiding. And that's what he told me in private conversation. I wasn't recording, like, it was a completely private conversation, right? He could have said whatever, but he told me specifically his Discord server got banned for raiding.
Yeah, that's believable too, considering I'm sure you probably agree with these allegations. There's proof behind them, like him and his supporters raiding streams and stuff, saying pretty bad stuff. That's all true.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, he got his Discord server banned for raiding, and that's the truth. If you do any sort of raiding on Discord, you get banned. Like, for example, I literally got an account banned, and the ban reason was for raiding my own Discord server. I had 2 servers, and I raided each other, and that was the reason that my old Discord account got banned. It was pretty hilarious, but that's just the way Discord is, you know. And I don't think max raiding is a good thing, and I think that's definitely wrong, and he's definitely made some big mistakes and consciously done really stupid things in the act of his persona. But they're completely different levels of things to endorsing images of children.
Yeah, that's a very brazen claim. I definitely should not have supported as much as I did without, but it's really hard to get evidence for that, especially since, if you have evidence of that, you're getting, arrested and all. But if you don't have evidence, you can't really claim anything regardless.
Let's just like think about it this way, right? Because I don't support Max, right? Especially after this, I was his friend. I don't support him anymore due to everything that he's done. But I can tell you this. If he were to like endorse that, he's a YouTuber with 1.5 million subscribers. Or he used to have that before he like lost half of them. But he was a very big YouTuber. If he said or did anything to do with that, it would be everywhere, dude. It would literally be everywhere. And the fact that it's only like a year later that is like bringing this up, like almost 2 years later, it's from like 2019, dude. I'm pretty sure it's like 2019 when like the rating and stuff happened. The fact that it's this much time later, the fact that there's like no evidence towards this actually happening other than people just like saying it, and even if like his fans did say something, right, you can't take that as a fact because people say stuff. I know for a fact, even like my fans, they'll go out and say things that just aren't true. Like a bunch of people think I'm from England, right? That's not true. A bunch of people think that Max did some of these things and they're saying it. Just because they say it a lot of times, it doesn't just make it true, you know?
On the topic of his fans, I know I asked you a little bit earlier, but like Max and his fans, how toxic they are. They're always in my Discord. I've mentioned, I've been like, I think 10 of them now. They're basically rating me. What did Max even think of them?
So basically, Max has been very self-aware of his fans. Over the past long time, he knows like what his fans are like. How he acts is like a persona that basically encourages that type of fan base. You know, if you're trolling, people who watch videos of trolling are likely trollers themselves. So he knows his fans are wannabe trollers. He knows that they aren't exactly the brightest people. You know, of course they're people. Everyone's a person. Everyone does different things in their spare time. But he definitely knows his fans. Like, for example, there was a time me and Max collaborated on a video together, and it was ended up being posted on my channel, and it was brought up in conversation about him possibly promoting my video so that it could be spread to a wider audience. And basically, we came to the agreement that his fan base, if that was to promote anything, then it would just end badly. Like, it'd be toxic. It would be like just not like the right thing. And like Max knows that. I'm pretty sure most people who watch Max just know that they are like a part of that group of people who are trolls and who are, you know, they're pretty stupid sometimes.
Yeah, they are. It's pretty bad. And in your video, you mentioned one of Max's friends. You said, like, you also mentioned this, a persona Max puts on. So, like, the way he acts on YouTube, you're saying that's totally, like, different than the way he acts in, like, private?
Oh, yeah, man. Totally different. Like, from seeing his videos, I expected to, like, get into a voice chat with him. Have him, like, troll me, dunk on me, and whatnot, like, roast me, like, be sort of just, like, trolly, you know, make fun of, like, whatever. But it turns out that he has like two personalities. One is a personality he puts on YouTube and in the public. Two is like a really nice like guy, respectful, YouTube's his job. Like there's a part where he like really broke character. He was in an interview with a YouTuber, I forgot who it was, but the video ended up being like deleted or something. It's a clip from like last year. It never was really like popular or anything, but Max is talking about like about his YouTube channel, about his life, you know, what his life would be like if he wasn't for YouTube. And he was very humble. He was like, you know what, if I wasn't like on YouTube, if I wasn't this lucky to have the opportunity to be where I am, I would be working at McDonald's. And that's straight up what he said. And he said that like he's extremely fortunate to be where he is today, and he's very like thankful for everything he has. So he definitely is self-aware, which is something I can respect. And all my experiences with him, he was like kind, he was respectful. There was like a couple arguments that like was involved between me and someone else, and Max would always come in there, be the third person to sort it out. He would never be like biased towards a side. He would sort of be there in the middle and be like, come on guys, like, you know, get your shit together. Like he would always be like kind of like the voice of reason. And that's like something that was like people viewed him as like in the friend group.
Wow, he sounds like an actual person I could get along with versus like how he's portrayed on the internet. It's like you said, two totally different personalities. That's insane. And with him being like that in private, do you think the friends he hung around kind of corrupted him or no?
Oh, definitely. He puts himself around like the wrong people. And by this, I don't know if, you know, there's always something that's been lingering in my mind ever since this like critical video. And it's the fact that I never got to see the dark side of Max. And of course there are like moments where it's sort of like you could like sort of see something, but I always saw the like bright side of him. He was always like on my good side. We were always like friends and stuff. And the only people who I really saw the dark side of was his friends. And yeah, he just surrounds himself with some really like toxic people who just don't do good things, such as people like Bolabong, and they're both very interesting individuals, especially Bolabong. I think that some of the some part of the problem is not Max, but the people he surrounds himself around. And I'm not trying to like say Max hasn't done anything bad. He's definitely done horrible things. Hence why I literally like cut ties with Max. And that's not like, if anyone who's had like a friend before, it's not easy to cut ties with like a friend, and especially when you're friends with someone who is in a position of so much power, like the amount of subscribers he had. Anyone would want to be friends with someone with like that much internet power, especially someone who's like trying to build up their own channel. You sort of see people, you see their sub count, and you like sort of judge people on that. And when you see such a big number, you sort of see opportunity. And like that was actually one aspect of me being friends with him. I always like was like, wow, this is cool. Like maybe if I surround myself with people who are like out here doing like following their dreams, that I will encourage myself to do the same thing. But yeah, his friends were definitely a problem.
Namely, do you have anything like that his friends did that were really bad, that really rubbed you the wrong way?
There was definitely a lot of like racist things being said. There was also like a call with a dude called Bolabong where he did some really weird things, which again, I've already like I said this in my own video, like things he did can't be said on YouTube. Like unless you want your video shadow banned, I could literally not say it in this video. Like they were just really weird things, which I ended up like blocking the dude who was involved and stuff, and was like, what the hell?
Man, that's ridiculous. Like, if you can't say it on YouTube, like, you can't even blur it out. It's like, that's really bad. And you already said racist remarks, that's bad enough. That gets you canceled on the internet. The final thing I want to know, the thing that I may or may not title the video, is MaximilianMus alive?
Well, as far as I know, if you can play games on Steam, I'm pretty sure you're alive. So, and
You have a point.
yeah, so I saw those rumors around saying like, oh, he killed himself and stuff like that, and no, he's alive. He was literally playing TF2 like a day ago, like yesterday, and yeah, he's faked his death multiple times, and I know there's definitely a lot of trolls out there who are like trying to fake it, trying to impersonate him, you know, making channels to try to pretend they're him, like making a new account and stuff, which isn't true. I don't know if people know this like completely, but YouTube didn't disable his account. They didn't terminate his account, I mean. And what happened to his account was Max literally just like disabling his Gmail account, which, just so you guys know, you can get it reinstated. Like if I disable my Gmail account right now, I can get it back in like a week or two. I can just email Gmail and be like, hey, what's up, like I disabled my account this time and I want it back now. And they'll 100% bring it back to you. So I have no doubts that Max will come back in the future. Like my honest opinion is that he's probably waiting for the time to come, because right now like everything's hot in the press. People are talking about it, people making videos about it, such as this one. Everything right now is just like Max is on the file. And even if Max did nothing wrong, even if Max was completely innocent, which he's not, but even if he was, there's no way of him getting out of this. So right now, I think he's taking the best option he can. He basically made a statement, like, talking about, hey, I didn't do this, but you know, no one's gonna believe him, because you know it's critical, right? It's a bunch of other people as well saying the same thing, and I admit I listen to Critical a lot. I trust him, and I feel like he wouldn't go out deliberately to tell a lie, which I don't think he's like actually like thought about doing, even though some of the information he's said is incredibly false and has no information to back it up. He was right about most of the things. Max has done some extremely scummy behavior, which is just vile and disgusting. So is his friends. His friends have done even more disgusting things. I feel like he's definitely going to re-enable it. I mean, if you think about it this way, Max is a smart guy, right? He's self-aware, he's not stupid, and he's likely thought, maybe if I disable my account and re-enable it later, it will save like some of the drama. And if you think about it, can you unsubscribe to a disabled account? No, you can't. So if he like disables his account, right, does it for like a month, a year, however long he can survive without an income. If he does that and comes back, he would have saved himself already hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and when he comes back, it will be a big thing. Like, this whole drama, it'll eventually blow over. And as it happens with every single drama, on the internet. It always blows over at a certain date. And I feel like Max is just taking the approach of damage control, and I'm really interested to see where he goes with it.
Yeah, I hate to admit it, that is like one of the smartest things I think he's done. His fan base happens to bring that up every single time they bring up MaximilianMus to me. Like, oh, you don't know what he's doing, he's just doing something smart. And that probably is the smartest thing, because not only will he not lose, at least he'd probably lose another 300,000 or 200,000, something ridiculous, because he's in hot water. But he will be able to, I don't know, you can tell me if this is true or not. Like, he's for the money. Is that really why he does YouTube, or does he actually enjoy it?
Oh, he definitely does it as a job, man. Like, I feel like he used to do it just for fun and for the memes, but it definitely just turned into his job, and it's pretty difficult to have your hobby and your job as the same thing. It eventually just always turns into being your job. And even when like the whole like critical video came out, I was speaking to Max because he released 2 response videos and then deleted them. They're both troll videos, but I was like, "Hey man, why did you delete those videos?" And he was like, "Because they weren't monetized." So he like saw the opportunity. He was like, "Hey, I'm about to get like 200,000 views in like a day because critical just called me out." And he was like, "I want the video that they're gonna view to be monetized so I can make the most money as possible." And yeah, that's a smart move, like money wise. Maybe moral wise, it's not a good move, but Max definitely like. I mean, everybody likes money. You know, let's be real. Everybody
Yeah.
likes money, and if you're about to like get your career ended, you would rather go out earning a bit of cash. I reckon he knew like what was gonna happen. I reckon he knew like as soon as that video came out, he was like, "All right, so probably gonna have a couple of days of like getting a crap load of views, and then I'm just gonna dip." And it really depends how he's been going saving his money. And if he's been saving his money, if his like got money, he's been like investing it, does whatever he does to get money, then he should be able to last quite a while before he needs to come back. Because as he said in that interview, like, what experience does he have? He was like saying that he did rubbish in high school. Like, if it wasn't for YouTube, he wouldn't have anything. So, he's gonna come back. And it's just, I think it's smart of him that he disabled his account because I'm not even sure if YouTube can, like, terminate an account which is disabled. So, yeah. And another thing that, like, is, like, sort of proof that Max is sort of knowing what he's doing is that I would talk to him about like YouTube, right? And he would give me tips. And one of the tips he gave me was like how to get any video monetized. And it was basically saying that the first minute needs to have no swearing and whatnot, and then the rest you can basically do what
That's
you want.
true.
And I didn't know that beforehand. And I was like, wow, dude. Like, so he can basically just have the first minute of his videos family friendly, and then the rest can have whatever they want because of YouTube's like self like reviewing or whatever it is monetizing thing. He could get anything monetized.
Dang, he really did know what he was doing. It's unfortunate, and the more unfortunate thing is, like, he's smart and all, but he openly admitted to breaking YouTube TOS in like his last community post like several
Allegedly,
times,
by the way.
and he was
That
confused
post
why
isn't proven yet.
that post. You don't think that post is
I'm
even
not saying
real?
it's
You're
I'm not saying
questioning
it's
it.
fake or real. I'm just saying that until we have like solid proof, it's just gonna be allegedly. And I'm surprised that there's only like
Oh, I
one
didn't even think
screenshot
of
of this
that.
post. Because you think about it, he has an audience of 1.5 million subs, and the fact that there's only this one screenshot of this post going around, that's kind of sus, man. Like, you'd think they would have like a screenshot from an iPad, a screenshot from a phone, a screenshot from a computer, a full screenshot of like his channel and the community post. But the only one I've seen is like a zoomed in version of it.
Same.
So
Damn.
until we literally hear Max telling us, I'm gonna say that everything that comes out you want to take with a grain of salt.
I don't know if he would have made a more thorough response. I guess there's really no, regardless of what he said, he was screwed. He couldn't have done
Yeah,
anything.
he messed up. He done some really bad stuff. He got accused of some really bad stuff as well. And with that mixed together, how are you meant to believe a guy and trust a guy who's admittedly done this horrible stuff? Like, why wouldn't you think that he's done this other stuff as well? What stops you from thinking that, oh yeah, why wouldn't he, like, if he's already done this, if he's already been racist, he's been raiding, he made some fun of someone's dead relative, why wouldn't you think he's done this other stuff? What has he done that makes you trust him? That's the question.
And there's no answer. That's the worst part. Damn.
Yeah.
Well, anything in conclusion you want to say that the audience should know?
Yeah, I just think everyone should just be really careful about what you trust. There's a lot of trolls out there trying to spread rumors, and I would probably just think and believe that everything is fake until like Max says and stuff. And that stuff relating to like him being back or being alive or dead. Like for the other stuff, for like the accusations, I'd say just take everything with a bit of a grain of salt. Believe what you like, do your own research. But just because you see a lot of people saying something doesn't mean it's necessarily true. And while Max has done a lot of horrible things, you still need to take that little bit of extra effort to treat him like a human and give himself the research that he deserves. Like, just because he's a bad person, just because he's done some bad things, doesn't mean you still shouldn't make sure what you're saying is correct or not. Because in the end, slander is slander, and it still can hurt people. You know, Max is a person, he has feelings, so are the people who he, like, really did bad on, and yeah, that's kind of my conclusion.
Yeah, he is a person that really is impactful. I mean, he was like I mentioned, his comment section was just $S. That was pretty messed up, I felt. Even though he's done bad things, people do need to treat him like an individual and take into, aspect what he's done and take into consideration, like, you can't trust him because what he's done, but you still gotta look at what he says, and on the internet, you can't just trust random stuff. Like, anyone could Photoshop me doing something bad. Anyone could Photoshop either you or me, like, saying anything bad. But you really can't believe it. You can't.
Just everyone needs to, like, stop being in the mindset of guilty before innocent and needs to think innocent before proven guilty. Like, I'm really, like, I love Critical. I love his content. I still do. But I really wish that he had some evidence to back up some of the things he said. Because some of it he just said and nothing was on screen, nothing was in the description to prove it. And that was a little disappointing to me. Like, even though I am on Critical's side of things, like, yeah, Max has definitely done some extremely scummy things. Sure, he's been a lovely person to me. He's been nothing but kind and respectful to me and helped me. But, he still has done these bad things. Not all of them, but some of them.
And if there's anyone's take to trust the most, it's yours, because you've been through thick and thin. You knew him, like, you talked to this guy, you were good friends with him, and you're even taking the other, point of view, and you're also criticizing the other point of view, which I totally agree with. Thank you all for watching this far, and thank you, WAMO, once again for interviewing with me. It was actually very enlightening on, point of views and this entire topic as a whole. If you watched this far, oh my god, I don't even know how to thank you. Hopefully a payment will be good enough. I'm kidding, I can't pay you. There's too many people that probably made this far, but thank you so much if you did. If you've made this far, comment down Golden Gang, Golden, and I will respond to whatever you have. If you have any question, I'll thank you, even if you don't say anything other than Golden Gang, because it really does mean so much. With that all being said, please go subscribe to WAMO. He's going to be the first link in the description. Also subscribe to me. I make pretty decent content every now and then. Have a blessed day. Go do something productive. Also Discord, also in the description. Join there if you want to make some friends or just talk to me directly. See y'all in the next one. Peace.